Let's bring in His Excellency Pedro Brolo Vila. He is Minister of Foreign Affairs for Guatemala.
It is a great pleasure to be here with all of you. I would like to reaffirm our solid and strong friendship with the State of Israel, as well as to congratulate this initiative that allows us to make a sincere exchange of visions that can be of great benefit for the Central America region along with our friend Israel. I wish to make a brief recapitulation of a year that we definitely were not expecting. A convulsed year, less than 60 days after the inauguration of the new government of Guatemala in January of this year, the pandemic was declared, something which none state was prepared and that has affected everyone without exception. One of the first issues the government had to deal with was a hospital and education network that has been unattended for decades. Nonetheless, its recovery was a prior task for President Alejandro Yamatei, mainly due to the crisis that we were heading back then. Hence, several temporary hospitals were installed in addition to other permanent ones, in order to increase the capacity to treat the patients and to take the necessary measures to contain the disease. In addition, and as a consequence of the pandemic, we clearly knew we will face serious effects in the economic field, since many businesses had to close due to the prevention and preventive measures implemented to secure the most valuable and fundamental aspects of the human being, life and health. This year also brought two natural disasters during the second semester, ETA and IOTA storms, that carried along devastating consequences for our people, our infrastructure, and our economy, which reflects the effects thereof of the climate change and the global warming. This is a small radiography of the reality that we were facing. This crisis made us react in a positive way. It represents a challenge, but moreover, this opportunity is the subject I would like to address today, facing the next year in which we have to visualize the post-pandemic stage in a positive way. The first step we visualize to achieve the post-pandemic stage is the universal access to vaccines to combat COVID-19. We believe that the experience of Israel in health matters can be a great reference for our plans of distribution, transport, and application of the doses in our people. The second stage, which does not exclude the first one, is the implementation of the strategy proposed by President Yamatei on the economic recovery that is based on three axes. The first transversal axis is the one of occupational health and security, which promotes the economic recovery in accordance with the biosecurity protocols that prevent new waves of COVID-19 infections. The second axis is the one of innovation. This promotes the efficiency and the reinvention on the productive process through the addition of new and better technologies. The third axis is one of sustainability. These are areas in which we visualize the economic development of the country in a post-COVID stage, and on which we can count with a greater and better commercial flow with Israel and Guatemala, as well as a greater investments and more tourism. I firmly believe that Guatemala can take advantage of the experience of Israel in multiple aspects and areas that will certainly influence in our development as a country during the next decades. Due to the consequences of natural events and global warming on the agriculture, it is of great need to cooperate in aspects of agrotechnology, since we recognize that Israel is characterized by the intensive investigation and development of innovative systems created by the need of overcoming the lack of local water and arable land. In the case of Guatemala, we count on hydrological resources and land. Nonetheless, we must preserve it and take advantage of it without risking the environment. Israel is the most advanced user of agricultural irrigation in the world, with water irrigation systems in more than half of its arable land. Your technology in these systems have earned respect and reputation globally, and as a result, more than 80% of its products are exported. Cooperation in this matter, therefore, is very important for our country. Also, there is an aspect that affects our region, and maybe there is the feeling that it has been left aside because the attention to the pandemic and the natural disaster has been prioritized. And this aspect is the national and regional security. We continue to be threatened by drug trafficking, transnational organized crime, and gradual increase of the drug consumption in the Guatemalan youth, which is the majority of our population. There is no doubt that cooperation and collaboration in the fields of security, defense, and the use of new technologies is of equal priority to Guatemala. Recently, Guatemala declared Hezbollah as a terrorist group as a result of a thorough analysis of our national security system. In this respect, our region must be prepared and recognize the necessity to increase our surveillance in the borders with the latest technology and to count with better resources in the Air Force, something that we must learn from Israel, as it is one of its main strengths. The future, therefore, must be seen with optimism. Together, Israel and Guatemala and our Central America fellows are going to head out of this pandemic stage firms and with a vision of economic recovery, crops recovery, more tourism among our countries for the coming years in order to be much safer states with technology needed to face the future in a better way. This is how I see the strengthening of our relationship, our friendship, that is based on respect, collaboration, and mutual admiration. Guatemala and Israel do not stop. Thank you very much.